one point, around 20% of the global population was given the shelter-in-place order that restricted their movements to inside their homes. And this is going to be forcing builders to reimagine the spaces where we live, learn, work, and play, to put in place measures to support social distancing, non-toxic cleaning, having better air quality and infection monitoring. Joining us to talk about the contribution of green buildings in the fight against COVID-19, Jaime González, president of Arthaland, now joins us. Hi.
Hi, Michelle. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. So let's start with that. Green buildings are all about energy and water efficiency, the use of sustainable materials, waste reduction,
Yes.
indoor air quality, and community. How can a buildings being green help provide a means for epidemic prevention, isolation, and control?
Well, especially these days, the cleanliness of our environment and the spaces in which we work in has become so important. It's not only to prevent contagion, but also to prevent the people who may be infected to get worse. As you know, if you live in a polluted environment, your health becomes challenged, and you become that much more susceptible to serious infections, including, of course, the COVID-19.
So, sir, your 8.1 hectare Savina Park in Laguna is the first and only to receive the LEED Platinum certification. Now, that is the highest level of certification granted by the U.S. Green Building Council. Do you think that you've built somehow a future-proof community that will stand a better chance at fighting or preventing the next pandemic? And if so, could you give us some of the features of that park?
Yes. Well, first, just a slight clarification, Michelle. We're the first to have received a LEED Platinum certification for neighborhood development. This is specifically applied to Savina Park. And here in Savina Park, we have instituted features such as 60% open space and green areas. We have sewage treatment plant. We have a big catchment area for water. We have distributed cooling facilities. And we have electric shuttle services to allow the residents or the tenants or the employees of the tenants who work there to shuttle between our development and other developments in the area using electric shuttles. So things like this, all of these all add up at the end of the day, Michelle. But having said that, there are constantly new improvements and new technologies that are being developed. So we have to be constantly aware and sensitive to all of these developments. And we, as an organization, we are committed to adopting the latest in technology.
I guess the question is, are Filipinos willing to pay the premium for that green lifestyle that you offer? For example, how much sales are you looking to generate from the Savina project? And if you could give us an idea, how much more expensive is a green building or development compared to its non-green alternative?
Yes. Well, let me put it this way, Michelle. Today, we are not getting any premium in either our selling prices or lease rentals by developing green and sustainable buildings. But we look at this as a long-term effort. The benefits of us developing sustainable buildings all accrue to the tenants and the residents in these buildings. For instance, in Savina Park, we estimate that the occupants will be incurring at least a 20% savings in water and at least a 40% savings in energy costs. That doesn't accrue to us. It accrues to the people who are occupying the buildings. And we don't get a premium for that. But we believe now is the time to invest for our future generations. And eventually, we hope and we believe, eventually the benefits will also accrue to us as an organization.
But
Yes.
building these green developments, sir, comes with a premium, correct?
Yes, it does.
Oh, wow. So your
And,
margins get pressured. I imagine the
well,
margins are.
Yeah. um, we've said in the past that it costs us roughly anywhere between 8 to 12% additional costs.
Okay.
So I just tell my team, they just have to be that much more efficient. They have to look at their costs very carefully without sacrificing the high quality of our developments. At the end of the day, any additional cost, it's not really a cost for today. It is an investment in the future. And if we don't start now, if we don't start investing in the future today, when else will we do this?
Okay. Sir, let's talk about Arthaland, the big picture. 11 years
Yes.
old this year. You guys hit 10 billion peso reservation sales last year.
Yes.
How is 2020 looking so far? Last week we spoke to a Vismin developer, and they were surprised that sales managed to stay strong despite the pandemic. Are you seeing the same bullishness?
Well, realistically speaking, Michelle, we, like most other of our colleagues in the industry, we're facing major challenges. But because we've planned, we've got our ongoing projects, we planned it very carefully and conservatively. And now that work has commenced again, we are retaining the same completion targets that we set for ourselves pre-COVID. So that's on the technical side. On the sales side, we have been quite surprised about the strong degree of interest and demand for our units. And surprisingly, quite a bit of this have come from international demand.
Wow.
We had to readjust our marketing and sales strategies to adapt to the new normal. So we've been conducting a lot of webinars, and some of our webinars have attracted in excess of 300 participants, both local and international. So there's a strong interest. The challenge is just to be able to hand it over as you promised at the quality standards that they expect.
And of course, I imagine the hope is that the interest will be translated or will translate into actual sales. Jaime, very quickly, I know that you guys have a target of having a 60 billion peso portfolio that's growing fivefold over 5 years. Are you on track despite 2020 being a crazy year?
We are on track. In fact, Michelle, of the 5 times growth that we projected, based only on the projects ongoing today, we're already hitting 88%. And the balance of 12% are accounted for 3 other projects that we will be launching soon.
Okay, that's good news. And your goal, which is to have 30% of your spaces leased out, I imagine this is a way that you guys could also enter the REITs market?
Well, we've looked at that. Although we're a relatively young company that has achieved quite a bit, REIT would be interesting. The important thing is, as you said, to ramp up our level of recurring income, and that's one of the things that we're working on.
What's the current level of recurring income?
Our current level, if I remember correctly, it's in the low teens.
Okay.
Still in the low teens, still very low, Michelle. We still have some work. We still have some work to do.
You guys are a young company. You have a lot of time to do that. Jaime, this lower for longer from central banks certainly is one thing you property guys have going for you. Cheap money. That's good. But the ultimate question, I guess, is will there be takers as people are bracing for deep recessions? Banks are expected to, be a little bit more conservative when they lease out over concerns that, bad loans are on the rise.
Yes. We're very well aware of that. And for instance, on the new projects that we've had, we're carefully studying the timing of the launch of these projects. we're not going to proceed blindly and hope for the best. We have to make sure that it's well thought out and well timed. We're fortunate that on our ongoing projects, we've sold quite a bit pre-COVID. And as I said, we're selling some more right now. In fact, I have to mention this, that in our project in Arca South, in the midst of the pandemic, our good friends Mitsubishi Estate, with whom we've entered into a strategic partnership in the Philippines, invested in that project. So you can see the confidence that they have, not only in our company, in our project, but also in the economy.
Exciting times ahead. We're looking forward to hearing what you guys have in store. The plans for your land bank of 35 hectares in Tagaytay, 8 in Batangas. Very exciting and very glad to be able to speak with you, Jaime, today. Thank you very much for joining us and good luck.
Nice talking to you, Michelle, and thank you again.
Thank you.